update on the president's search for a Supreme Court nominee? He mentioned he's going to be having in-person meetings here at the White House. Is that something that might begin this week?
Yes, I can give you an update. As you have heard the president say, he will do his duty to select a justice not only with the Senate's consent, but with its advice. As somebody who served on the Senate Judiciary Committee and was chair, both as chair and ranking member, he is steeped in this process and looks forward to advice from members of both parties on the Hill, as well as top legal experts and scholars across the country, working with the vice president and his team at the White House. And I think you will see those consultations start this week. So tomorrow, the president is going to host Chairman Durbin and ranking member Grassley at the White House to consult with them and hear their advice about this vacancy. Chairman Durbin has worked on 7 Supreme Court confirmation processes. The president has also worked for many years with Senator Grassley and respects his knowledge and views. So this will be part of that process, and I expect we'll have more details to confirm as the week proceeds.
The president has said he's going to be, reaching across the aisle, obviously, as he makes this decision. We heard over the weekend Senator Lindsey Graham supporting his fellow South Carolinian Judge J. Michelle Childs. Is bipartisan support a must-have for this president, or something that he would simply like to have?
Well, I think, one, we appreciate Senator Graham's thoughts, and the president is working hard to choose from a wealth of deeply qualified candidates who bring to bear the strongest records, credentials, and abilities that anyone could have for this role. I think, as the president views it, what's his objective and his intention is to choose from among a group of Black women with impeccable records and impeccable credentials, and he expects the Senate, Democrats and Republicans, to consider the qualifications of these nominees and do that as it has been done historically for many decades in the past. So we certainly expect, and he has every intention of nominating somebody who with impeccable credentials, and certainly we expect and are hopeful that Republicans will look seriously at whomever he nominates and at who they are and what they would bring to the court.
And just one more on this. Our latest poll shows that just over 3/4 of Americans, 76%, want the president to consider all possible nominees, not only Black women, as he pledged on the campaign trail. What do you make of this, and why do you think that a majority of Americans want the president to take a different approach here?
Well, again, what we can assure the American public of, wherever they fell on that poll, is that he will choose and nominate someone who has impeccable credentials and is eminently qualified to serve as a Supreme Court justice, and someone who is eminently qualified to serve in a lifetime appointment. He did make a promise to the country. That's certainly how he sees it, and he's going to work hard on this choice, seeking advice and counsel from, as I noted earlier, a range of leaders, of experts, and that's something that he is already pursuing this week. I would note that there's a long history here. President Reagan promised the country he would nominate the country's first woman to serve on the court, and he did so. Former President Trump also promised to choose a woman just over a year ago, and there was no such complaint from the voices on the right who are speaking out now. But the president's commitment is to deliver on the promise he made to the country, but there's no question in his mind that there is a wealth of qualified, talented Black women to choose from in this to nominate. Go ahead.
Can you talk a little more about the size of the pool of candidates that the president will be considering? We've heard a lot about a few names that are currently federal judges the president had appointed, but then we've seen some expanding lists. Could you quantify that to any degree? And are all of these women being actively considered for the vacancy, or might it also include future federal positions that the president would also have the power to appoint?
Well, this may be unsatisfying, I will just preface for you, Kelly, which I hate to do, but, as somebody who appreciates the solemn importance of the responsibility he has, he's, of course, been reviewing a number of potential candidates. That is a list that is bigger than a few in the number of bios that he has been looking at, and that have been prepared for him by his team in order to be prepared if a vacancy occurred. We don't think, and it is important to him to preserve the details of the process And his intention is to, as you know, put forward a nominee next month. So this is not a many months long process. He is very focused on it and committed to it, but we're not going to get into details of names if we can avoid it, or details of numbers at this point in time.
Often for this kind of process, there is a team appointed to work short-term inside the White House to be sort of a guide for that nominee. The term of art in Washington is Sherpa. Have you made any progress on that?
We've been making progress and expect we'll have more to announce for all of you hopefully soon.
And last question, do you think bipartisanship, the chance to get Republican votes, would be a factor that would weigh heavily on the president among those he would consider?
I think the president is going to select a woman, a black woman, who is qualified, who is prepared, who has impeccable experience to serve on the court. He's going to do that based on her credentials, of course having a discussion with her, and not through gaming out the system. He believes that Democrats and Republicans should seriously and carefully consider any qualified nominee he puts forward, as he has done in the past himself. Go ahead.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.